What is an asset? We'll use the definition from Robert T. Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because it's a very useful one. So, anything that gives us more money than it costs is an asset, or anything that makes us richer over time is an asset. So we all knew what it was. Now, since we are all so interested in building assets, why not find assets that will help us build wealth over time? Hello everyone, welcome to Success Wisdom. In this video, we're going to talk about 10 assets, examples Rich Dad Poor Dad mentioned. If you're new to this channel, do like and subscribe to the channel. So, let's start by getting a better idea of what assets means. We'll do that for the rest of this video. So we've already talked about how an asset is something that makes us money. For now, we'll take anything where we only put in a small amount of time, effort, or money once or for a short amount of time, but get long-term benefits. That means we can get money from it for the next 10 to 15 years. In this video, we'll talk about these kind of assets, examples Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The first asset is real estate. First, I want to share one or two quotes about real estate. John D. Rockefeller, who was once the wealthiest person in the United States, said, "In America, the biggest fortunes have been made in land." John D. Rockefeller was very interested in oil, and he ran a business called Standard Oil. At the time, he owned 90% of all the oil in the United States. Second, he lived at the same time as Andrew Carnegie, whose company, U.S. Steel, was a huge steel business empire. He also said that 90% of all millionaires become millionaires because they own real estate. So one thing about real estate that is unique to this area is that it is where the most millionaires are made. We're not talking about people who have a lot of money. Some may even be billionaires who run real estate businesses. But if we look at the numbers, real estate is how most people become millionaires. Real estate is a great asset, examples Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But we should also know what could go wrong with it. So let's talk about the opposite of it. Even in real estate, liquidity is low. So, if you suddenly need money, you might not be able to sell that real estate easily. Second, most real estate is bought with debt or loans, which is called leverage. When a loan is used to buy an asset or make an investment, the returns are also multiplied. If there is a loss, it is also multiplied. So we should also be aware of this effect. Second, we have paper assets. How do paper assets work? Stocks come first in this. If you buy shares on the stock market, you have stocks. You'll see that a lot of people became billionaires by investing in stocks. Warren Buffett is the most famous person who did this. We also have George Soros, Jim Rogers, and a lot of other wealthy people. Here is where you can find out about them. Stocks help a lot of people make a lot of money. If you want a steady income or return, you can invest in things like bonds or corporate FDs. Mutual funds are another way for people who want to invest in stock market indirectly to do so. In this case, paper assets also include FDs in other deposits, such as post office savings schemes and other types of savings schemes. The third asset is business. We all know for sure that business is a good way to make a lot of money, but it also comes with a lot of risks. So we have to think about both sides. Most billionaires are made through their businesses, as you can see. We should also be aware of the other side, whether it's Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, or someone else. There isn't much money in business, so you can just leave it overnight. If, for example, you went in the wrong direction, it would be hard to get back because businesses make it hard to leave. Because of this, it's very important to learn about a business before starting it. But most people don't recommend them because the returns aren't as good and can't keep up with inflation. Our fourth asset is equipment and machinery. For example, a car can be such equipment. If someone uses it as a taxi, it becomes a valuable asset for that person. If anyone on the farm uses a tractor, it's a good thing. When a laptop is used for work, it becomes an asset. In all of these assets, you only put money into them once, but you get money back over a long period of time. So we're using our own ideas about what all these assets are. Let's take more examples. Like if someone is using a phone to make videos or movies, for example, we're making this video, but we're using a professional DSLR camera, which is a plus for us. In the same way, a factory's plants and equipment are its assets. So the equipment we have is also a good thing. The fifth asset is intellectual property. This includes patents, intellectual property rights, trademarks, and licenses. This means that if you come up with something new or own the rights to something new, you can patent it or not. For instance, if a pharmaceutical company comes up with a new medicine, they patent it, and the effects of that one invention last for years. In the same way, everyone knows about Harry Potter. All the money from the books based on them goes to J.K. Rowling, and all the money from the books goes to her. So she only had to put in the hard work of writing those books once, but she'll keep getting money from them for the rest of her life. In the same way, we all know who the Marvel characters are, and we all know that the movies are based on them. So, if you own the copyrights or licensing rights to something, you can use it for the rest of your life. Before we continue to discuss assets, examples Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. The sixth asset is commodities. Things like gold, silver, oil, and a lot of other things. Gold and silver are especially good commodities to use for hedging. Gold and silver are especially good investments when there is a recession or other slow time. So, the amount of money left in the portfolio could go down. So, gold and silver goods are very helpful right now. So, we should also study goods carefully. Cash is the seventh asset. Many people will say that it takes the most sense to keep the money at home because it doesn't bring in any money. I totally agree with you, but please pay close attention to this. Why do companies like Apple, Berkshire Hathaway, and many big Indian companies like Infosys, Reliance, and Tata keep cash on hand? They keep cash on hand so that if they get a chance to grow in the future, they will have the money to do so. Or if they get a business deal, they should have enough money to carry it out. The second benefit of cash is that if you want to close a deal, whether it's for real estate or stocks, and the market has dropped and you're getting a good deal, you can't if you don't have cash. This is also why cash is so important. The eighth asset is people. How many people would agree that people and teams are assets? Yes, they certainly are. How does Apple make products that are so well made? Because they invested in good people. The money they get is good, so that's how they make those great things. So working as a team is very important in all of these tech companies, and not just in tech companies. Teamwork is a very important part of any business or group. The idea of acqui-hire is popular these days. You may have seen this in new businesses. If a team is good but its business isn't doing well, another company could buy that business. But that company could have thought to hire each person individually. But if they buy the whole business, the team goes with them, and the process goes faster. So, we need to realize that the people who give their time and energy to help us are assets. The ninth asset is content. Jay-Z makes a song, and that song is only made once. However, the person who made it has the right to it for life and can make money from it. If someone writes a book, they only do it once, but they get paid for it for the rest of their lives. In the same way, movies are made only once, but people make money from them for their whole lives. There are social media sites, websites, YouTube channels, and blogs. People are famous now because of Instagram. All of these people are making content, and in the long run, it will help them. So any kind of content is good for us. And here comes our 10th asset, brand and goodwill, which may not be worth much money but has a lot of value. We now buy things online, but we don't easily trust any brand. Most of the time, when we want to shop, we go to Amazon, Flipkart, or a few other sites we know are safe. Even though Apple products are pricey, people still buy them. What makes them buy those? We trust that brand and think the products it makes are good. We buy those things because of this. So, these are the 10 things that can make you rich over time. We've reached the end of another video and thank you for watching. I hope you have learned the assets examples Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you like this video, do give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Thank you and goodbye.